guess I get to do this by myself. It's Tara, and Lindsay said she was going to be in the comments, but I don't know if I'm smart enough to figure out how to turn the comments on. I can write a comment. Um, well, let's see. How do I view the comments? I don't know. Anybody know how to view comments? Okay, Lindsay's here. Oh, nope, I can see. Okay, perfect. They just pop up. I'm not very smart. So Lindsay asked me to talk to you guys about stress. We don't really have any of that, do we? And so I don't know exactly what she wanted me to tell you, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my story. I have, I am a bariatric patient. I had surgery in May of 2017, so I'll be 3 years out in May. I always dealt with stress probably by eating a lot before. I think that's probably the normal thing, right? Maybe you do it when you don't even realize. So I would deal with stress a lot by eating or sometimes not eating. And I was really stressed out in the beginning of my journey because I was overwhelmed with all of the rules, and you can do this and you can't drink through a straw and you can eat that and you can't. And it was so much. And so eventually I actually found myself watching a video from Christina about kind of nonchalant stress eating, maybe. I think she was talking about eating her kids' goldfish without even realizing that she was doing it. And the really ironic thing is, about the time I was watching her video, I looked down and I was literally eating the kids' goldfish. So just doing it out of habit, just stress and life, and it was there, and so not thinking. So when she was talking about eating the goldfish, I was like, oh crap, maybe this girl knows what she's talking about. And so I'd kind of been following Christina's group. At that time it was a different name, but I'd kind of been following them since before I had surgery to get some information. And they were just this weird people on Facebook, and so what did they really know? But I think when she talked about the goldfish and her personal struggles, and she was really vulnerable, I realized that maybe she could help. So I actually joined in one of her programs with Lindsay, and started kind of just learning about my own journey and about what I was eating and how to manage everything. And life was really good. I thought things were great. And so I started in with one of the first challenges, and I've now learned that I am, okay, I don't know the right word. I'm one of those people that want to please everybody and do what I'm supposed to do. Lindsay has the book, and obliger, I think is the right word. So being the obliger that I went through the first challenge, and I tried to hit every single mark, and life was pretty good. I got a little bit sick, and so I had some knee injuries and kind of fell off the wagon a little bit, but I finished out the challenge pretty strong, and I was okay. I thought I had all of this nailed. So joined the second challenge thinking I was going to totally rock it. And life happened. Over the course of that summer, I was going to school in some really hard classes. I am a parent of 2 adopted children, both who have special needs, so that causes me a lot of stress. And then my husband works out of town a lot, so that makes me have to parent by myself quite a bit. And I work full time in a pretty high stress environment with lots of spreadsheets and deadlines and things of that nature. So that's just all day-to-day stuff. And then I added the challenge on top of that. And I felt like I had to do all of these things. I had to measure all of my food. I had to track everything. I had to be the perfect, meal prepper. So I'd spend hours and hours and hours in the kitchen doing all the meal prep. I had to hit all the classes and do everything. And then my stepdad got cancer. And so he was diagnosed with cancer. And we had some major things happen in my family. We had some big financial setbacks that we weren't prepared for. And it was all just spinning out of control. I had emotional things going on, and I got really mad. I'm really an easy, happy-going person, and there was a part of me that was just so mad and so frustrated, and there were so many things that were outside of my control. And then, in their natural fashion of trying to help us and encourage us and keep us motivated and on track, in the course of this challenge, there were different little tasks that needed to be done in order to score points, which is a really cool concept, but it wasn't for me at the time. Even just posting pictures of what I was doing or talking about what I was doing, or the fact that I had to get up and go to a class because people were relying on me to show up and I committed, it all got to be so overwhelming. And the only thing that I could control at that time was all of this, the stuff that in reality I needed to be doing for me, the classes and the working out and the all of that. That was the only thing that I kind of felt like I had control over at the moment. And so I started pushing it all away. I didn't want to talk to people in the group because they were really great about checking on me and reaching out, but I didn't want to. They were adding more stress to my life. I didn't want to go to the workout classes. I didn't feel like it. I didn't have time. There was too much else going on in my life. I wasn't eating. Instead of stress eating, on those days when life was happening, I quit eating. I wasn't tracking what I was eating because I wasn't eating anything. And so then I felt more ran down and more tired. And I got to a point I just completely kind of shut everybody out and disconnected. And the majority of the disconnect that I did was from all of those things that were so good for me, because I guess at this point, looking back, it's the only thing I could control. Y'all, that was a mistake. I didn't do anything. For like 2 months. I didn't work out. I didn't go to classes. I didn't reach out to anybody. I completely pulled away and disconnected. And then eventually, I did something else too. I started smoking. I had quit for 4 years, and so that was not good, right? So all of these things that were so good in my life and contributing to my health and well-being, I kind of just threw them all out the window. And it didn't help. Like, getting rid of all of those things didn't relieve any of that other stress in my life. It actually just added to it because I felt worse. So eventually I decided this isn't going to work and I need something. And I knew that I had never felt better than when I was actually taking time for me. And somebody told me, you can't pour from an empty cup. And that really resonated with me because I was empty. I was depleted, and I was just in a bad place. And so I thought, well, I'll just check back in for a little bit in this group because I knew that's kind of where I had been the happiest. So I recommitted to doing the next challenge. And to be really honest, I probably didn't do that on my own. There was, I'll give her credit, Lisa. She asked me, to kind of do that with her. And so Obliger and me was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I partnered with Lisa. And that was probably the best thing I could have done for myself, because I had somebody to be accountable to. I had somebody that was checking in on me. I had somebody to say, hey, look, I actually, maybe took a shower today. Maybe it wasn't necessarily challenge related, but just real life. I mean, she talked to me about the habits I'd picked up and, just somebody to talk to. And I got replugged in the group, and I kind of approached the next challenge a little bit differently. I didn't set all of these unrealistic goals for myself. I said, I'm going to show up. I'm just going to show up. I'm going to work out as best as I can. And if I can make a class that day, great. If I don't, well, then maybe there will be tomorrow. And you know what? One class turned into another. And I kind of realized that it doesn't have to be so overwhelming. And I'm working out in the morning. And I can tell you the difference in my day on the days that I get up and work out in the morning versus the days that I don't. I feel like I am better equipped to face the day when I've started my day with the workout, but my friends, and having just somebody there, that accountability again, I guess, to be accountable to. So I kind of regrouped and started working out again. And our third challenge, I guess it was, there was a whole meditation piece, and I thought, okay, that's really silly. Who meditates? I don't have time for that. And we were only challenged to do 2 minutes, and 2 minutes turned into 10 minutes for me pretty quickly. And I realized how important it was to take that time every day for myself. And I feel like the next challenge I was actually really excited about. I was able to not be perfect. And that was okay. I didn't have to be perfect. I just had to show up and do the best I could. And some days I didn't eat, and that was okay. I just said, hey, guess what? I didn't eat today. So I got to be a little bit more accountable to myself for those things. But I also had friends that were like, that's okay. Tomorrow is a new day. So I think the biggest difference in the way that I kind of manage stress this time, because all that stress is still there. Matter of factly, this last month, I was at work till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, doing schoolwork and doing work and coming home, going to bed, getting up at 4:30, hitting the 5:30 classes every morning, just continuing to go. And I was kind of burning candles at all ends, but I still was, they laughed at me because there were a lot of nights I showed up to class in my office, in my work clothes, just to take that 30 minutes for me. And taking that time for me didn't take away from my stress, but it made me more equipped, I felt like, to kind of handle it and manage it. And then taking the pressure off of myself, not having to track perfectly, not having to do beautiful meal prep. You guys should see my meal plan now if you ever pay attention. I eat the same things all the time, but I kind of figured out how to balance, and I figured out that if I have a stash of turkey meatballs in my freezer, then I can pop those in the microwave and I get protein and fat and things I need, and I actually had something to eat. So I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, but I just know that taking that time for me, my husband teases that I'm going to go have my bath time because he laughs that I've spent a lot of time in the bathtub now. But I just feel like making sure that I put myself as a priority has really helped me be more equipped to handle all of the stressful stuff going on. And if nothing else, it puts me in a better mood. So at least I'm not snapping at everybody, because I've been guilty of doing that. So this is supposed to be an hour, and I can't really talk for an hour. So I'm not sure what all else you want to know, but life gets hard. Life sucks sometimes. And I quit smoking. It's only been 2 weeks, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm proud of where I am today. Some days are really still stressful, but I just am trying to get up, show up, and do the best I can. I think getting connected is huge. I have 4 or 5 girls in this group that I feel like all of my regular life stuff, they just check in and, their how's school, how's the kids, how's this, how's that. And I think that really helps me because they don't even know me, but they've taken time to get to know me outside of, oh, she's a bariatric patient. She's trying to figure out if she can drink out of a straw. And in this group, I hope y'all know, you just do you. Just show up and do you. So anyway, I don't know. What else y'all want to know? Anybody have any questions? I'm an open book, but I'm also a hot mess, and this wasn't very well organized. I just said, I'll show up and share. But today, my stepdad is, chemo has completed. And so if, we can keep him well, then that's good. My marriage is in a better place. I've got my kids kind of straightened out and figured out some better ways to manage them. So just being kind of more open to new solutions has helped. But I think a lot of it comes from being at a place myself that I can be open to whatever comes and embrace it. But a huge part of my success is just showing up, and it's not AA, y'all, but it kind of feels like it. I just, it works if you work it. And so you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be able to give 100% in every workout. But I think the one kind of takeaway, and Lindsay says this all the time in classes, is, don't leave class wishing you could have done more. And so every day I just try to go, what can I do to be a little bit better today? What can I do to make it, to be a little bit prouder of myself? I'm really kind of proud of where I am. And even when life gets crazy, I'm still trucking along. So that's a good thing. I guess I don't have anything else to say. So do you guys have any questions for me? Or if you do and want to put them in the comments, or maybe there's something I forgot. Lindsay, do you need me to add anything else? My comments are really slow because she's behind. I mean, I could do a song and dance for y'all. I don't really know what you want. All right. So I guess if you have anything else you want to know, I'll tell you whatever, but if you haven't tried a class, come try a class with me. I'm not perfect. I don't work out perfect every day. I have limitations. I have to modify. Something's wrong with my internet, so I'm always 2 or 3 minutes late to class. Kids are always running around, but I still show up. So come show up with me. Private message me. I'll answer any questions you have, or just get plugged in. Try the classes, try the meal plans, try to track, do whatever. If you can do one little thing, you'll be amazed at how much better you feel about yourself just for taking that few minutes to do something for you. So, okay, well, I guess I'm going to end because I don't see any more questions and I don't want to take all day because I don't know what to say. So, all right, well, if you have any questions, just let me know, and you'll have a great Monday if you're home or not home or wherever you are. Thanks.